those humilities, and that's going to make show and tell Emrakul way better.
Right, but I mean, he was only playing one. I don't know if that easy
True.
that Caleb kept it in, but I'm sure he knows his opponent's deck well enough.
I'm pretty sure Pat's going to also want to bring in those spell skites. And we see the players there joking with each other about not bringing in Tormod's Crypt against Caleb over there. That would be very, very realistic.
Hey, it stops Crucible of Worlds getting lands back.
It does.
Go off.
But I don't think I think that's the least of Pat's worries over there.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a lot of graveyard hate. There's more red elemental blasts and pyroblasts out of Pat's board, so I think he may just be defending the combo. It's kind of hard to tell. We may see a turn 2 show and tell though. You know, this is always a nice thing to see is when the players are in between games, they're talking and they're being, you know, just friendly. You know, it's not a high pressure, you know, I made top 8 so I'm gonna, you know, drill you.
Wow, I don't think anybody's grinding here. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a real good thing to see. Make this a lot more fun, better play atmosphere. And in the long run, whether you win and you get the MOX or you don't, you do want to have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not, I don't even see why you're bothering playing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It can get aggravating at times, but
It can.
That's just the nature of it.
Mm-hmm. As with anything else, just like any other sport or activity.
Correct.
All right. And we are shuffling and shuffling some more again.
You're playing Standard at the moment?
I am not playing Standard. Are you playing Standard, Joe?
No. Does that tell you anything? I don't know.
I don't know. You know what? We are very...
okay, I'll tell you one thing, though. I was watching the SCG Sacramento coverage yesterday for Standard, and then I saw this deck called Frites or whatever.
Yeah, Frites.
And that seems something interesting with the mulch into like Unburial Rights, Elishnorn, Worm Coil. That seems pretty awesome because at that point it's like more of a reanimation engine.
Yeah.
And that's one deck that I would say if I were to play Standard, it seems like a fun deck to play.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as legacy players, sometimes we get a little spoiled, and we get to go turn 2, reanimate Jingataxius, or turn 1, Tendrils of Agony for 23.
Fair.
Yeah,
exactly. Fair decks all the way.
So we get a little spoiled there, and sometimes Standard isn't the most appealing, but when it comes to things like that, you know, a good combo deck is always needed.
Yeah, if I'm not flipping over 6 cards and milling myself for 6, etc., it seems like I'm not doing the right thing. And opens with the Flooded Strand pass. Oh, is that a Flooded Strand?
That is a Flooded Strand, it looks like. And here we're off with game 2, cracking the Flooded Strand.
What kind of hands we got here? We have... Caleb has brains. Oh,
that's
wait.
his deck right there. He does not have a 52-card deck or hand. And we are shuffling some more. I believe that is a black bordered Tundra over there. Caleb has been playing this deck a very long time, it seems.
I don't know about that, but he's probably been collecting these dual lands for a long time.
And there's an Enlightened Tutor on his turn.
All right, let's see. So he's got...
For Oblivion Ring. Now, why do you think he'd do that on his turn and not the end step of Pat over there? That's an interesting move.
Not really sure. I mean...
I don't know. Caleb did go first, so this is... I do not know.
That O-ring should be...
On top of his library?
On top of his library.
Yeah, not in his graveyard.
Yeah. There we go.
Or I guess that was. Oh, that's okay.
Oh, okay. It was end step.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that would seem a little sketchy.
Pretty loose.
And we are off now after a Wasteland. That's a good move on Caleb's part to Wasteland that land, because if he goes turn 1
Slows him down a lot.
And then turn 2 double mana land, he could just pop that show and tell out
As
there.
you can see here, finally we have the threats of the deck making their appearance. We have 2 Mishra's factories that are in Caleb's hand.
Oh, and top deck's a Brainstorm. That's pretty good there.
Fetch. What's his hand look like now?
Caleb's hand?
Yeah.
Caleb's hand, I believe, is one Mishra's Factory, the Oblivion Ring, DeaLS, which will probably transmute for another land of some kind, maybe another Mishra's Factory, and
maybe that. Oh yeah.
And a Crucible of Worlds.
Crucible.
And there it is. Here's some friendly banter over there.
Homie, don't play that. Quote from Pat.
And I wonder what's going on here.
Oh, Painter.
Painter Servant naming Baluhu. And that makes Crucible of Worlds blue. Killing it with Pyroblast. That's pretty good because he definitely doesn't want Caleb to be able to.
Small intricacies like that where, your Painter, their whole color, the whole deck's that color now, so your Pyroblasts or whatever become Vindicates.
That's right. A 1-mana Vindicate.
One mana Vindicate.
That's deadly.
With the added benefit of being a counter spell. That seems amazing.
Can you imagine? 1 mana, counter target spell, or destroy target permanent. How much do you think that card would fetch for on eBay right now?
Imperial Seal money.
Imperial Seal money, that's right. Ooh, and there's a Welder. Very nice. He might go beat down with that Welder over there.
Yeah, he does not want this Welder to resolve. It's just really good at helping Pat sculpt his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Even things with like the Great Furnace he already has in play. He can just start doing crazy shenanigans. Welding top again when he nets a card, etc.
That's right. We see here Caleb brainstorming. I'm not really sure what he's looking for. I mean, if he's
looking for a counterspell for that Welder.
Like what other blue cards did he have in hand though at that time? He had that Brainstorm, the Teleria West.
No, this is true.
So if he's looking for another counterspell, then here we go. He's got a straight up 6th edition counterspell in his hand.
Yeah, but with 1 blue mana, that's not gonna help him much.
I'm curious as to why he didn't just counterspell. Oh, okay.
Well, he didn't have. Oh, right. You're saying.
Yeah, he could have just straight up counterspelled, but I guess the Swords works.
Now, did he brainstorm into that counterspell? I didn't.
I'm not sure.
Because then maybe that's probably why he didn't. But
that's true.
I mean, regardless, he gets the swords and handles it. How big? Oh, the Servant is a 2/3, I believe.
1/3.
Oh, 1/3.
1/3, yeah. Not quite a good beater, but it'll block a Mishra's Factory for sure.
Now, you wanted to keep mana up, right? Because, at some point, you could have just, swung in with Mitra, animate, used the second one to pump it up, but...
That's right.
He doesn't want to just flat out lose to something.
Yeah, he taps out and then Pat lands a combo, then he's going to be very sorry. Especially since he's already down a game. He does not want it to end that quickly.
Alright, so we have a second Enlightened Tutor. Now, this is a Seal of Cleansing.
Seal of Cleansing. Wow, that's something you don't see very much in Legacy.
Definitely not. Dischants are not a common thing.
Yeah. And most people actually play Disenchant. I guess since he's got the Enlightened Tutors, that's just an extra copy of the card in his deck.
Exactly. Tutorable. This will help him because what this will do is that it slows Pat down enough to it gets to Caleb's his speed, which is slow turtle speed, and
that'll be the new deck name. No more Wise Men. It'll be slow turtle speed Mishra's Factory
right
deck.
Dot
deck.
Dirtling dot deck. No, I'm just kidding. So here we have a second Welder
and a second Painter Servant. So it looks like that first one, he's kind of safe.
Bringing the redundancy in. Does he just concede the Welder to him? I guess so.
Yeah. He probably is running out of resources over there.
Yeah, he's got the old hand on the chin. Doesn't look very motivated at this point.
He does have that Oblivion Ring in hand, though, also.
Right, so along with the seal. So, the Welder isn't active yet. So, he
He could put Oblivion Ring on the welder, and then he could.
That's about it, though.
Yeah, use the what's the enchantment? Seal of Cleansing.
No, I mean, he already has 2 copies. I mean, it seems kind of irrelevant.
True.
I mean, if you O-ring the welder, what is that?
No, I'm pretty sure
it's
that
the seasons. He's got the seasons.
And another Mistress Factory out there. I'm pretty sure though that Pat doesn't really have any artifacts in his graveyard, so the Goblin Welder isn't very threatening right now. So Caleb might not even be worried about that.
Might not even care.
Yeah, he might just say, "Hey, forget it," and we'll see when it comes up later.
Oh, he's gonna O-ring.
Oh, here we go.
Regardless, I mean,
yeah,
card's really powerful. It doesn't matter. And once it becomes active, even like I said, yeah, if he gets top, things like that. I mean, what did he draw there? The past hand, Pyroblast, Island.
Can't quite see. He's
looks like either Ancient
tight.
Tomb or City of Traders.
Yeah, and it looks like another blue card in there too. I think
he's just gonna pass the turn. Doesn't look like he has got much action.
That's interesting.
Oh, and there we see the Vendilion Click. So he did slide them in.
Okay.
These will add that. It will give the extra added pressure that he needs, as well as taking a peek at Pat's hand and
right there. So that is Vendilion Click during Pat's draw step, I believe, because he drew his card, but he hasn't done anything yet. And he's going to Pyroblast it.
And then we see here that he does have indeed another. He has a Red Elemental Blast in his hand as well.
Now that's one of the things about these Painter Servant decks, these decks that run these Pyroblasts and Red Elemental Blast. Sometimes they just get these free wins to the blue decks that rely a little bit too heavily on casting those spells.
Right. And I mean, it's not. I mean, he knows this. I mean, a lot of the majority of Legacy is 80% blue or what?
That's
plus
right,
that's a pretty good percentage.
I mean, how many decks start with 4 Force of Will and 4 Brainstorm?
Correct.
So, and here he goes, topping on the top 3, and I think there's another Vendilion Click in those top 3 that and a Counterbalance.
Counterbalance.
I think he put that Vendilion Click on top. Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did. But Pat still has that Red Elemental Blast waiting in the wings. Did you see what Pat drew there?
I did not.
Oh, don't tell me he drew another Pyroblast.
Oh, that would be pretty bad for him. Let's see.
Oh, it seems like it's City of Traders.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's Show and... Is that Show and Tell?
I'm not sure.
It looks like Show and Tell.
His cards are tight together. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's Show and Tell.
And the Emrakul.
He does have the Show and Tell Emrakul with the Red Elemental Blast. Now City of Traders.
The question here is, though, when does he go for it? Does he just throw it out there right now? Because if he throws that Show and Tell out there, then Caleb's just going to have Vendilion Click. Oh, and there it is.
Yeah, and you have to figure he was going to go for that.
Yeah. Alright, Caleb waiting on the response from Pat over there.
Or do you want to leave the other one so we can just see that? Yeah. So we can see
that. Looks like we are still waiting on that response from Pat.
Yep.
He must be thinking about this
it's pretty important. I mean, it's gonna give you a lot of information, and I mean, he can always just take he can just take your Emrakul, he can just take your Shroud.